Welcome to TradeTheABI.com. This is John. This report is for the 6th, and well, that's the Epiphany here in Italy, as well as the Befana, the Wicked Witch who gives coal in that out. So we will see if the market's going to deliver any coal today in the sense of lower prices, but you can see we're right at the peaks here. This isn't exactly, hyper robust, but you're right at the peaks. There really isn't enough impetus to really push things. You can see that shorts activated a little bit more after having been cleared out. So we're getting a little fade here on the short-term buyers in steel, mid-term buyers in green, but longer-term buyers are starting to accumulate some of this at the peak, getting ready for the next breakout, which is not just yet, but getting closer. And exactly the same thing with the NASDAQ. So it's at its peaks as well. And the Dow right there along with it. So everybody's all in alignment with where they're at as far as preparing to break into new highs. Even as we reset, you can see we're in a weak period here with the shakeout from a Dow standpoint, but still holding well above the ABMs, and those become very easy to utilize those values to trade above and below, and that just becomes a simple cross-check as far as when we get a reset like this, knowing that while price is holding up, nothing's overbought, and you're just resetting and recalibrating so that the next wave, when it comes through, Euro taking a nice bounce. See, those central banks, you'll love the power of that. They absorbed everything that took place underneath there and pushed it right back into the range, and that's exactly where we were looking for it to be. However, is it sustainable? No, because they've done this over and over. Every time they get it pushed back, they've been having difficulty sustaining it, and that's really going to depend on this right here. We were talking about the nice accumulation of bond acquisitions right here, and this is important for banks, so this should actually help the market some. Yes, overbought already in the spike on the A-buy, which means probably going to fill back in some of this, but it does show some support for treasuries going forward here and staying within that beautiful little range for oil. It's kind of in a sweet spot right now, and that's very effective, and the belief is that that is going to ramp up inflation along with economic growth based on projections, and so people are flocking to gold, and some of them are doing it because they're terrified. This is the other side of the coin. It's kind of an interesting one. You see more and more doomsday articles, and I think some of this is just an inability to see where things are going because they're unable to, in their minds, forecast. We don't have to worry about that because the money is telling us that they're still buying the market, and as long as that's the case, then we're just going to continue to follow with what they're doing. We can finally see on the ES5K a little bit of drop off here as we get towards the peak. Sort of just ran into a little bit of a headwind. Doesn't seem to be too dramatic at this point. We had a couple of positive extremes that had to get filled back in, and that's what this last dip just took care of. That little press there, we can see that we had a nice dip of the orange. Steel came below, and then actually green crossed over cyan right at this point where we've got the rising shakeout, and that was the nice turnaround move. And that in the new language will start the change in color, and so that will appear far lengthier. If I actually shrink this just a little bit, we can slide back, and we can see where we had the adjustments from the previous day on the runs. And so the little short moves were smaller, and it provided nice capture. So we'll continue to detail those out and get it laid out in a fashion that I can certainly send out that will give update as to being able to stay effectively with where the market trends are going. As always, though, continue to look for me on the Skype chat now. We had a wonderful time in Milan there at the Last Supper. Maybe I'll put the selfie I took in front of Leonardo's work if I can get a chance to get it uploaded. But as always, trade well. We'll talk again later.